You're on.
38 degree probe, so we'll go to our range. We want to set our range to 250. Delay, we'll just skip through that. Our velocity, we want to make 3200, so we've got mild steel shear. We'll then come down delay, we'll pass through that, we won't change that. Pulsar, we'll leave those settings as they are. Receiver, we want to just check we've got a 2 meg probe, that's correct. Full wave rectified dual is off because we've got a single crystal probe, and we never touch reject. dB reference, we'll skip through that, don't worry about that, and then we'll come to auto cal. We'll then put our probe on the job, and we'll then find our peaks, which we've done, and maximize those peaks, and bring our sound down, and we'll move the gate across to the peak. We'll maximize the peak, whoops, off the screen. Maximize the peak. When we've found the maximum peak, we'll then auto 80 that, and then we'll check our index point. Our index point lines up with that slot, and it's pretty much 25 millimeters, maybe 25 and a half. We'll then go down to record our first reference. Record is off at the moment, so we want to press the button. We've now got record S reference 1, so that's our first S reference 1, which is 100, so we'll record that, and the cursor jumps to the start of the gate. We'll then move our gate across to the second peak, make a big jump, we'll bring that back. We'll then auto, without touching the probe on the job, we're going to auto 80 that peak. We're then going to come down and record S reference 2, and we've got a message telling us that our probe is calibrated. So now we've got our calibration complete, and we've got our index point complete. We're going to check our actual probe angle. So we're going to flip the block over on this one because we've got a 38 degree probe. We've got a scale 35, 40, 45, 50. So we're going to put the probe somewhere around 35 to 40, and then we're going to maximize the peak on the screen. The gate is not important on this particular part of the process. We've just got to make sure we maximize the peak, and we don't, if the peak goes off the screen, bring the volume down or your dBs down till you find where the peak maxes out. And where it maxes out, that's where we're going to then check where our index point lines up on our block. Now our index point was 25, it lines up pretty much smack on what would potentially be the 38 degrees. So the probe is well within specification. We've got plus or minus 2 degrees allowed, and that is spot on. Alright, we've now got our probe all sorted out. We're going to go to our sensitivity block, and then we'll put our probe on, and we're looking for our hole with this particular probe at 50 millimeters of depth. That's our top corner of our, so we've got to bring our probe forward, and we've got to bring our gate forward as well. Getting this tiny little blip on the screen, we'll start turning up our volume. There we go, we've got the right peak, it's 49, we're looking for 50-ish. Going to maximize that peak by swiveling our probe, moving it backwards and forwards, and then once we get it maxed out, we'll auto 80, and we've now got evaluation sensitivity. We'd add 6 dB for scanning. Job done.